So what do you think their response is going to be once the dust kind of settles in the next couple of days?
Yeah, Bob, look, the Chinese and the Russians cannot be happy about this by any stretch. It's a serious threat to their interests to see the United States taking a major lead in Venezuela. But I have to say, the fantastic military operation that took place in many ways may be the easiest part of what comes next, because governing this country, especially when the regime is still in place, Maduro is gone, but its entire infrastructure is still there. Governing this effectively, getting cooperation, that's going to be the real test. And I think where Secretary Rubin was right is he's saying we need to keep the pressure on, but that doesn't mean that it's going to work. So China and Russia are watching. They may very well try to strengthen their positions nonetheless with the current regime that's in power. So I think we're still going to have a battle of wills with those two countries in the near term.
Joe, real quick, clearly these are all things the president and his administration have taken into consideration. No?
I sure believe so. I hope they're being very strong in their private messages to Russia and China to back off. That doesn't mean they will, but certainly the big play here is to get Russia and China out of our hemisphere and to try to build alliances with Panama, Mexico. I don't think we need to take over those countries or Canada to have them in our column.
I mean, getting Russia and China to back off, not going to be easy. China gets a lot of their oil from Venezuela for a very low price, we know. Victoria, what's that going to look like, getting out the regime that Joel said is still in power in Venezuela and putting in a government that will help not only the Venezuelan people, but also American taxpayers, because we know that our companies will also benefit from having access to that Venezuelan oil?
Well, one of the things that extraordinary operation on January 3rd exposed was their vulnerability to the United States. We have capabilities Russia and China don't have. And so we've now shown that, demonstrated it, shown that their Russian and Chinese-made missile defenses are powerless against us. And they're about to lose potentially lose another major partner, which is Cuba. The president spoke to this last night as well. Cuba was existing off of Venezuela oil like a parasite. And in exchange, they gave them their security apparatus. And those were apparently the only people who fought back against the Americans were the Cubans. But Cuba can't exist on nothing. So if the president does insist that they get cut off, we could see a change there. That's 90 miles from the shores of Florida. It's a huge deal.
Well, the president said keep an eye on Cuba. That things may happen there as well. Yeah. So I would take him for his word.
I mean, I would take him seriously at this point.
Okay.
We saw what a Maduro mocking him did to Maduro.
Victoria, Joel, it's a pleasure. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Thanks, Christina.
Coming up, Minnesota